All right, so right now I'm actually waiting on my coworker to get here to pick me up so that I can go to work. So I'm gonna get into what paralegal life is like now. I did a video closer to the beginning of my career as a paralegal, but now I'm just a few months away from being into year three, going into in the year two, going into year three of my career as a paralegal. So I wanted to do an update on paralegal life so that you guys know how things are going. There have been changes at the law firm. Honestly, to me, they're for the better. I went from doing pre-suit and learning litigation to just doing pre-suit to now I'm strictly doing litigation work. I prefer litigation work. I'm gonna get into both sides of it, litigation and pre-suit, what that is, what that looks like, and then just kind of get into what that will look like from a day-to-day process, what it would like from on the day-to-day for me or for another paralegal. It may be different, probably is gonna be different with different law firms, different states, that type of deal. But I'm going to get into that a little bit later. So I will get back with you guys once I relocate because my coworker is getting ready to pick me up. But I will see you guys later and we will get into those areas. All right, so Paralegal Life Part 2. So what's been going on? Over the past year or so, I've gotten raises, promotions, that type of thing. The laws have changed here in Florida here recently, and it kind of put us all in a tailspin, really. We had to make some quick adjustments on the fly, try to protect our clients, that type of thing. But I'm going to explain to you guys the difference between being pre-suit and litigation paralegal. With pre-suit, basically, you are dealing with the client for the most part. You are calling the client, making sure they're going to the doctor like they should, making sure that you're getting all the medical records and bills in. You do have to deal with the providers here and there. Sometimes you may have to call to try to get some information from them, but for the most part, you are dealing with the client and just getting records, make sure they're going to the doctor. Typically, the last thing that you do as a pre-suit is a demand letter. So with that demand letter, that's basically saying, hey, my client is done treating, and we are trying to get X amount of dollars to settle this case so that we don't have to go to court. That's all you're asking for. So typically, pre-suit can be short, it could be long. It just depends on the type of injury and this type of law that the person has. So if it's like something like a dog bite, that could be fairly quick because dog bite may just require some stitches. You may have to get a shot. You may have some things. So it's like that. So that could be quick. Or be longer. Would be like a car wreck, someone losing a toe or something. Things like that take longer. All right. So then with litigation, that's the side where we've done pre-suit, we tried to settle and we can't settle. So now we're suing this other person, business, whatever, to try to get this case to come to a conclusion where we win, hopefully. So with that, at that point, we should have all the final medical bills and records, everything from insurance. We should have all that information so that we can do things like discovery, where we ask questions to the defendant asks questions to us. We answer those questions, get those things back to them the way everybody's moving along as we should. You had depositions, you have mediations, mediations that gives the defendant, not the defendant, but the defendant's attorneys an opportunity to speak to our client. That gives gives the attorney for our client an opportunity to speak to the defendant, and things like that. And then also you have again, opportunities to try to settle the case. So you don't want to go to court still. So now we've done all these meetings. We got records given back and forth to each other, bills given back and forth to each other, that type of thing. Okay, can we try again? Now that you've seen everything, you've heard everything, without us having to go sit before a judge and a jury, can we just come to an agreement and settle this case? That's a 50-50 shot, yes or no. So it really just depends on the severity of the injury. If the other party sees that hey, you know what, I might actually be able to win this case, so we might want to go to court, or we may not have to pay out as much. So through the two, as you can see, there's a difference. Once you're dealing with the patient, the other side you're dealing with judges assistants, opposing counsel. Every now and then you may have to deal with, for witness purposes, you may have to deal with a provider to try to get them to come in to do something. But other than that, you're really not. And of course, you'll speak to the client still here and there, but most of your work is dealing with the judges assistants, opposing counsel. That's pretty much it. You're scheduling things, trying to get this stuff done, trying to make sure you don't miss any deadlines so you don't get on the judge's bad side, and you're trying to keep the case moving forward so you can get it settled and out of the way in a timely fashion, because you don't want these cases to drag on. In many cases, they're already dragging on for a year minimum. So you don't want them to drag on for too long, and you don't want them, drag them into the point where statute of limitations has expired. So then now your case is just simply thrown out because you've gone beyond the statute of limitations on the case. So right now, Paralegal Life Part 2, just kind of give you guys an update on everything. Been busy. It's gotten busier as my time here has gone on, and learning different things, still trying to get used to some new things, especially with the law change and the new setup of how we're having to do things. So working on, I'm actually, when I go back into the office here in just a little bit, I'm going to finish filling out some paperwork to become a notary in the state of Florida. That's not going to take long to do. And then that's pretty much it. Just continue to do what I'm doing. But I'll give you guys an update a little bit further down the road once we finish getting everything ironed out with these new laws and everything. So there will be a Paralegal Life Part 3. But until then, remember, I love you, God loves you. And until next time, peace.